Hey everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be unboxing Joy's first mini album, From Joy with Love. There are 3 versions that I have today. On my left here, I have the Photobook version. In the center is the jewel case version, and then on my right is the tin case version. There is a 4th version that they announced, but it has not released yet. And I hopefully, fingers crossed, will have that in my possession soon. But I think it's called the 2U version or maybe 4U version. I can't exactly remember, but it's basically like a envelope or pouch type version. I think it's another smart album deal, but that will be coming in the near future. So as you all probably know already, this is technically not Joy's solo debut. She debuted with Hello in, I think it was 2021, if I remember the year correctly. And that was essentially just a cover album of songs that Joy covered and put together in a little mini album type deal. But this is her debut in terms of original works. So I am very excited to get into this. I do have 2 pre-order benefits from K-Town for you, so let me grab those. So these are the pre-order benefits that I received from K-Town for you. I think I got 1 for the Photobook and 1 for the jewel case, if I'm not mistaken. So let me get these out of the plastic. Okay, so we got both of the pre-order benefits out of the plastic, and this is the first one. Both are going to be with this orange hair, and I presume a lot of these photos are going to have the orange hair in them. I apologize for that loud car going by, but this is the back of the photo card. It is green, and of course we have the apple as the O in Joy, so that's very nice. And then the second photo card here, she has her hair basically curled up in, I want to say this is like some sort of giant hair curler. I'm not entirely sure though. And then we see some scrunchies in her hair. She's got some like under eye patches or whatever, probably to help with like, I don't know, bags under her eyes or something like that. Or maybe like acne, I don't really know. But it's a very cute photo card. And this is the back. It is pink. And unfortunately, it's kind of hard to tell, but it is a little bit bent. I think it was over here. Yeah, it's bent over here. So if I hold that in the light, that's kind of just how it came to me. I think it'll be okay, but my luck lately with photo cards in terms of them like bending as they're being shipped to me is like not very good. So that is another one we can add to that tally, but we are going to start with the unboxing since those are both of the pre-order benefits. So let's get to it. All right, so the first version I'm going to go through is, of course, the Photobook version. I already took out all the inclusions, I'm pretty sure. So this is the front cover. It just says From Joy with Love in cursive, and then it has this gorgeous photo of Joy on the front as I get it to focus. Thank you very much. And then the back also has some cursive writing on it with the title and then the track list. So very quickly, I guess, let me go over that. I'm going to try to put it in the light because it's kind of reflective and you can't really see it unless I do that. So I think my favorite track is probably the title track. So Love Splash, I really do like a lot. I have a summer playlist on my Spotify, and I don't think I've added to it yet, but I'm definitely going to add Love Splash to that playlist. And then Get Up and Dance was probably my next favorite. And then after that, this Scent of Green song I also really enjoyed. But I do enjoy this album overall as a whole, of course, because we love Joy, we love Red Velvet. All right, so as we get into this photo book here, we do have some drawings on the first page. I would not be surprised if those were hand-drawn by Joy herself. But we have a photo here of Joy hanging out the window of a car, and then just some more pictures of Joy at the beach here, it looks like. And I was actually kind of curious if the MV for Love Splash was filmed in Jeju, because I never saw anything official like saying that it was filmed there, and I never really looked it up. So if you guys know if the MV was filmed in Jeju, definitely let me know in the comments below. But given the fact that it was a beach setting and we know that Joy is from Jeju, I was kind of just assuming that it was probably filmed there. So if that is a fact, then let me know in the comments. But we do have a black and white photo there of Joy, basically the same photo that was on the front of this photo book here. Very nice, stunning pictures of Joy with this long orange hair, which is definitely a callback to Ice Cream Cake era, so we love that. And then I immediately remember that Ice Cream Cake era was in 2015, and then I feel really, really old. Because that was 10 years ago. Like, oh my goodness. And I don't think Joy has gone with this hair color since then. I could be wrong. I think she's maybe done orange once or twice. Ooh, she's got some like friends here. I wonder if these are like her actual friends. That's kind of cool if they were. But yeah, I honestly don't remember if Joy has gone back to orange hair or this like peach blonde hair since Ice Cream Cake era, but it is kind of cool that she did it for this comeback, which is kind of her solo debut in like the original music sense. Like I said earlier, not technically her solo debut, but that's a very cute picture of Joy right there. But yeah, getting back to the MV, I thought the MV was super, super cute. It was kind of giving me the vibes of like, I don't know, summer fling, like younger summer fling. Like you're a teenager or whatever, you're out of school for like 3 months, and it's like, okay, let me go find a summer crush or whatever. So it's kind of like reminded me of that. And then, also just the fact that, you're on a beach and there's so many just like summer vibes that come along with that as well. So like hanging out with friends and staying up late and, doing just fun things like that. It kind of like took me back and kind of made me remember some of the summers that I had when I was a kid and, had a lot of fun and basically had no cares in the world, which is definitely not where I'm at with my life right now. There are a lot of cares in the world that I care about, but it's nice to have something like this that kind of reminds you of, your younger days, and, you can think back on them fondly and just remember them, very, very nicely. So it was nice to have that. That is a very gorgeous picture of Joy right there on the left. And something that I noticed, like with all the songs on this album as a whole, is they were kind of like, I don't know how else to describe it, but they were kind of like old timey. Like they kind of reminded me, how our parents always talk about like oldies, right? Which I think is like basically 80s music. A lot of these songs kind of had aspects to them that kind of reminded me of that. Like songs that I would grow up like listening to in the car because my parents were listening to them, right? Like on the radio, that type of deal. So I don't know if I'm really like hitting it home in terms of like what I mean, but that's kind of how I feel about a lot of these songs. And I feel that way about Love Splash. I feel that way definitely about Scent of Green. Scent of Green really like gives me big time vibes of that. But I thought, it was basically very quintessential Joy, and I really enjoyed this album as a whole. And also, full disclosure, I'm filming this kind of late in the day, so I'm trying to get through this somewhat quick because I'm pretty sure soon there's going to be some pretty heavy sunlight coming through my blinds. So I think the lighting is good right now, but I'm very worried if this carries on for much longer that we may start to see some direct sunlight come through the window. So hopefully I can get this done before that happens. But so far, I am very impressed with the quality of this photo book. The pages feel really nice. The pictures are also good. Obviously, it is a hardback cover, so that's also a huge plus. Definitely didn't skip on doing like a magazine style photo book or anything like that. This cover, or I guess the book itself, the photo book itself, is kind of very similar to Reve Festival Finale, that photo book, so a hardback cover. So we definitely appreciate that. I would definitely be lying if I said that magazine style photo books weren't like wearing me out a little bit. So it's really nice and refreshing to have an actual like solid book almost, instead of just a magazine style photo book, which is obviously much cheaper to put together. There's really no spine for most of them. Most companies don't put a spine. They just do staples to staple everything together, and that's that. So it's really nice, and I really love that Joy got this as well, because she just put so much effort and hard work into especially this album, but everything she does. And she's like, of course, Red Velvet #1 promoter, so that's really, really nice to see her get her flowers from her company. And obviously there's a lot of things that SM can improve upon in terms of just promoting and treating their artists, especially their female artists, with more respect and, I guess dignity that they deserve and stuff like that. So it definitely needs improvement, but I definitely think that this was good on SM's part to give Joy, this type of photo book. And then of course we have a jewel case and tin case version to go through. And then she also did get the special version. So we very much appreciate that. And then that is all of the credits. We have arrived at the end. I do have the CD here. So this is the CD plate. It is purple with some more drawings, I'm guessing from Joy herself, but nothing too crazy with that. Let's go ahead and get into the inclusions. All right, first inclusion, we have a mini poster, and this is one of two. And so the one I got, it looks like she is in an empty pool as a photo shoot. She's got the very pretty blue sky in the background, partly cloudy day, and looking so gorgeous in this poster. And the back is of course just white. Then we get some stickers. So we have a couple black and white stickers, and then most of the other ones are in color, but those are pretty cool. And then up next we have a postcard. We have this very gorgeous photo of Joy with the lollipop is kind of like the main feature on the front of this postcard. And then the back of the postcard is pretty standard, except where the stamp usually goes, they have an outline of an apple, so that's nice. And then last but not least, we have the photo card, and we get a photo card that kind of reminds me of the K-Town For You pre-order benefit, or one of them, because obviously the super curly hair, her bangs are tied straight back, it looks like there, but she's doing kind of like a, I don't know, confused face. But it kind of reminds me of that pre-order benefit we saw at the beginning of the video. And this is, of course, her message on the back. I love that it is a white back with green text. Love that so much. But that is the first version we have for Joy today. Let's get into another one. All right, so the next version I decided I'm going to do is the jewel case version. So this is the front cover. We have another very pretty photo of Joy on the front, and it is in a slip cover, so I will be able to slip this off, and then the jewel case will be just by itself. But let me go ahead and do that. So this is what the jewel case looks like by itself without the slip cover on. Still looks very gorgeous. All right, so this is what the jewel case looks like when you open it up. We obviously have the little photo book on the left here, and then the right just has the CD plate. It is kind of hard to see because of the way the light is right now, but it does say Joy, the first mini album, and then you can see a lot of these like designs on the outside. It's because it's clear and then white text, so it is kind of hard to show on camera without tilting it forward towards like something dark. Actually, I wonder if I could do this. Hang on. All right, so I think this is probably going to be as good as it's going to get in terms of me showing off the CD plate, but you can definitely see it a lot better now. So I just used the photo book, and I'm kind of using it as a background type deal, so you can just like see the actual CD plate because it was very reflective, and with the white drawings and text on it or whatever, it was very hard to see. And then before I also move on, I did just want to show, this is the picture that is behind the CD in the jewel case. So we have a, I guess, behind Joy shot of her right by the ocean. All right, then up next we have, of course, the photo book for the jewel case version. I already took out the photo card. That was the only thing that was in here. There was no like poster or anything. But we have this nice front cover on the front, and then the back is kind of just like a scenic shot of the beach that they were filming at. And I will say that this photo book is a little bit thicker than normal jewel case photo books, at least that I have seen. I think most companies or groups or whatever just call it a day, like 6 pages, but this is a little bit more than 6 pages. This might even be like double that. So that's very nice. We have some photos of Joy on the beach mixed in with the lyrics to all 6 of the songs, and then the credits, of course, are on each of the lyric pages as well. Very nice. And we get to the end here, some more black and white photos. Very classy. And then this last one here to finish off the photo book. So yeah, that was everything to do with the jewel case other than the photo card. So let me grab that. All right, so as I mentioned, we just have the photo card left, and we get this photo card. It looks like she's in a parking lot of some sort. She's in a red and white top here with the super long orange hair, doing a very nice smile. And then the back is blue, which is an interesting change up. I was not expecting blue for any of these photo card backs, but she wrote a message on this photo card as well. Very cute photo card overall, but that is all we got for the jewel case version. Let's move on to the tin case now. Okay, so last but not least, we have the tin case version. We have this side, it has kind of like a glass bottle with a message in it and a straw. But it says From Joy with Love, which is, of course, the title of the album. And then this side, it has an apple. Looks like it's floating in some water. It says Canned with a Splash of Love. So this is obviously kind of supposed to mimic some sort of like food product, I guess. But on the side, we have the track list. And then this is the bottom. And then this is the other side. And then this is the other side of that. So yeah, let me get into this. So this is what it looks like when you take it out of the box. We have the glass bottle with the message in it. Once again, on the front, it says From Joy with Love. And then on the back, we have the floating apple. And then on the sides, it has various texts on them. Very, very nice. This honestly kind of reminds me of something that would like house food rations, like in the video game Fallout or something like that. So that's pretty cool. This kind of like also goes with the theme I mentioned earlier that I noticed with the songs, how it's kind of like old-timey. So perhaps I'm like hitting the nail on the head a little bit with that, but let's go ahead and get into this. I hope everything is not right on top. All right, so it turns out everything was right on top, and I basically saw everything, but to preserve some of the suspense, I will just take those out and show you guys the photo book for right now. This is the inside of the tin case, so I guess you can repurpose this in some way if you don't want to like house the album back in here, but we do have this photo book, and then there was a whole bunch of other goodies that I took out of the tin case before we get into that. So we have a picture of Joy on the back here outside of like a station wagon or something like that. And that's kind of like a convenience store, I guess. And then the front is her, I'm assuming, in the same car, and it says Photos and Memories. So let's get into this. So this is the first page of this photo book for the tin case version. And I have to say right off the jump, I am so happy with this version because this photo book is so cute and like bite-sized, and it's incredible. It fits obviously like the case, right? But it's also like big enough to where you can kind of see the photos. Like it's small, don't get me wrong, it's still small, but it's not super tiny, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of something as I'm talking like to compare it to, but I really can't. So I do appreciate that it is like small, but at the same time big, if that makes sense. It's like medium sized. But we have some photos of Joy here. I don't think we've seen this set too much, but she's in like a town area. She's taking some photos inside, it looks like restaurants, and in front of some cars. This looks like an ice cream truck. Very, very nice. Definitely fits the aesthetic, that's for sure. And then we return back to the beach theme. So we get some additional photos of her on the beach. And here she is with her friends again. Very, very nice. She's doing some like poses here. Oh, she spelled out love. That's very nice. Cool, cool. So you're feeling the love. I believe that is a lyric from Love Splash. Very, very nice. Have some more beach photos here. I feel like we have seen this photo, not even kidding, this one right here on the right. I feel like this photo we've seen like 10 times. Am I wrong, or is it just like slightly different photos? You know what I'm saying? We have some more pictures of her in the car. Very nice, like a old-timey station wagon type deal. But I Never Wanna Stop, Woo. I don't know what song that's from, but I'm guessing it's from Love Splash as well. And then we have some photos of her by the water here, so that's very nice. I know when these teasers dropped, like with her in this outfit and her by the water and stuff like that, like the timeline was going crazy. So very nice to see some of these in the actual photo books as well. Looks like she made a giant heart in the sand right there. No sand castles, but we still love the giant heart. I need the beat to heal me because I'm aching. Okay, go for it. And then we have, looks like some sheets hanging up to dry, and she's taking some photos in front of that. And then are we getting, yep, we are getting more black and white photos here. It's a very classy photo shoot indeed. We have some French right here, I'm assuming. That's pretty cool. I do not speak French, so if you want to let me know what that says, go for it in the comment section below. She's got a lollipop in a lot of these photos that are black and white. Very, very nice. I feel like her hair, like the orange hair, looks really good in black and white. Like, it just looks so, so good. And then we get to close to the end here. She's got a picture with an apple. I think that's maybe a cherry right there. And then we have this, I think, last photo before the credits. And yep, that is it. So that was the entire photo book for the tin case version. As I mentioned when I started going through it, I love this photo book so much. Just like the size of it, all the photos, the quality of it. I think it's really, really good. All right, so to start the inclusions, we have the lyrics and messages booklet. So I think we'll see lyrics and then maybe messages from Joy, I guess. So we have the front there, and then this is the back. It just has a shell on the back. So let's get into this. And we do have photos, at least some, it looks like, in this lyric booklet. So these are all of the lyrics and credits for all of the songs. Very, very nice. Some photos to keep us interested, because I know a lot of people don't necessarily always care about the lyrics. And then, oh, we get into these messages. So you can pause these if you want to read them, but we have a message about playful love. And then we have two more messages about friendship love and romantic love. Very, very nice. And then self-love. I think that's probably the most important section right there. Self-love is very, very important. But I'm guessing these are some words that Joy herself probably feels about those types of love. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So we have that to start for the inclusions. Up next, we have this little tag, or perhaps keychain, I think. It's like a apple cutout, and it says, "From Joy with Love" on the front. And then on the back, it says, "To my love, hold our green summer close. Forever, my love is yours." And you can obviously punch out this hole, and I have the string right here in my hand, but you can kind of make it into a keychain or perhaps luggage tag of some sort. So that is definitely a very unique album inclusion. Up next, we have some Polaroids to go through. So we have Joy holding this lollipop right here to start. And then this is the back of the Polaroid. These are definitely not photo card size Polaroids, but they're not regular size Polaroids, if that makes sense. They're a little bit more like narrow. They're definitely like as tall. They might even be a little bit taller than regular Polaroids, because regular Polaroids are typically square, but these are not square, obviously. But still love these Polaroids nonetheless. Love them as an inclusion. I'll probably be putting these in my large inclusions binder for sure. Up next, we have a whole bunch of stickers. So this is Get Up and Dance. And then this one says, "From Joy with Love." It is a blue heart. And then this says August 18th. So I think that was the day that the album released. And then this says, "I'm swimming for the love." And then this one says, what does it say? It says, "Fresh apples from Joy with Love." And then we have kind of like an ID sticker here. So this is a photo of Joy. And then we have another photo of Joy that is a sticker. So a whole bunch of stickers to add to my sticker collection. Love that. Up next, we have the instructions for the NFC chip that I'm about to show you. So we have that, and then to my right, I have this NFC chip that comes with the album. This is so, so cool because it is like a mini vinyl. So this side, it just says Joy with the apple as the O, and then on the other side, it says "From Joy with Love," but I love that this is a mini vinyl. It reminds me of that, I think it was YG Tag album that they released for Jisoo's solo debut, right? I think it was Jisoo's solo debut. But that's probably the only other place that I've seen something like this. So once again, I think this is like a really, really unique and cool inclusion that Joy got from SM. So I'm very happy with that. And then of course, last but not least, we have the photo card, and we get a Joy with, once again, the peach orangish hair. I think she's probably going to have that hair in like all of these photo cards, but she's doing a wink in this photo card. She's got like a white t-shirt on. Very, very nice. And then this is the back. A bit of a mix with blue and green here. And then we have Joy's message. So that's super, super nice. And yeah, I'm just very happy with this version as a whole. Like, looking at these inclusions, first of all, like the tin can itself is super unique, and I love that so much. But then the photo book and the tag, especially the messages, I haven't like seen any translations obviously of them, but I'm sure they're like very heartfelt and they mean a lot to Joy. So that's really cool. And then this chip and the Polaroids and of course the photo card and the stickers, like it's all so, so good. So honestly, if I were to recommend, if you could only get one of the versions for this release, I would absolutely recommend the tin case version because I personally love this so much. But with that said, I'm going to get everything back into frame and then I'm going to outro. All right, so that was all I got for my unboxing of Joy's first mini album, From Joy with Love. It felt like I was a little bit, I don't know, rusty in terms of recording this because this is my first unboxing that I've recorded in quite a while, but I hope you guys still enjoyed the video and I was coherent somewhat. We do have a lot of things planned coming up for the channel, so I think the next video I want to do is probably a photo card haul, and then after that we have a lot of comebacks coming up. So Soojin's comeback will actually be tomorrow as I'm recording this, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Those albums I hope will get to me kind of soon. As I mentioned previously, I ordered them from a US retailer, so we're going to see how that goes. I also just pre-ordered today all of the versions except for the vinyl of Wendy's release that she's doing, I think in like 2 weeks also. I think it's like September 12th or 13th, somewhere around there. So not too much time until that as well, but I will have all of those versions except the vinyl. And I will probably do an unboxing for those as well. And we also have aespa's comeback coming up on, I think it's September the 5th, and I'm very concerned currently about the status of my albums for that because I pre-ordered my Rich Man albums on K-Town For You, and I pre-ordered them using DHL as the shipper. And well, this was done before like all this nonsense with the tariffs was announced, because if you don't know, the United States is now going to be doing worldwide tariffs starting August 29th. And so basically any country you ship from into the United States is going to get tariffs. So any package that comes in, you're going to have to pay duties on it, which is kind of messing things up because a lot of like country postal services are suspending service to the United States because of it. And DHL is also a courier that has now suspended United States service. So it's kind of just like a huge mess, and I'm guessing as it stands right now, like I wouldn't get my albums because I selected DHL, and obviously DHL is not shipping to the United States right now. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I'll have to play it by ear and see if our government actually goes through with this on the 29th, and if they do, I'll probably reach out to K-Town For You and be like, hey guys, can y'all like maybe change my shipper to like FedEx or UPS or something because DHL is not shipping to us. So yeah, it's like so much stress and anxiety for like, I feel like no reason, and it's really taking the fun out of this harmless hobby that I do, and it's just, yeah, it's very stressful. So hopefully it all works out and I get my aespa albums some way, somehow, but I am still very, very stressed and worried about it. But with that out of the way, and because I can tell the sun is now setting and sun is coming into my room directly, it is my cue to go ahead and get out of here. So yeah, just let me know in the comments section below, you know, what you liked about this album and what your favorite track or tracks are. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm just so happy for Joy because she seems like so proud and so happy promoting this album. So we love that for her so much. But yeah, thank you so much for watching to this point in the video. If you did, I hope you have an awesome day or night whenever you watch this, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.